Okay, we're going to look at the tax homework for this week. So some of it is a little confusing because you do three basic different things. So this is homework 4E, and I'm going to look at number 6, 7, and 12. So I'm not going to do all the calculations on these, but I'm going to show you basically the difference between the three problems. Okay, so the first one let's look at, I think this is number 6. It's not marked on here, so I just took a screenshot of this. But George is single and had a taxable income of $82,250 in 2013. So a couple things to note is these numbers will be different for every person. These are randomized, like his income. And there's a small chance you could get the same one, but in all my times of trying, I've never gotten the same numbers in like 10 or 12 tries. So they probably do rotate around eventually. But so your number will be different than this. The first thing to do is to figure out what information they've given you. They've told us George is single, which is going to matter a lot, and that he had a taxable income of $82,250. So if you will look, this is on page 254 of your, let me write this down here. Oops. Page 254 of your textbook. Okay, there's this little tax table. And that's kind of, oops, sorry, I got to get everything showing again. And that is going to really help you with this. So we determine what they've given us. They've given us taxable income. So I can go straight here to taxable income. That means that I'm not going to do the deductions and exemptions on the tax table. Those have already been done for me. Okay, that's really important to know. So I'm going to take his taxable income and I'm going to compute his federal income tax based on the tables. Here's the table. Okay, so this one's, I'm not going to work out all the things on this, but let's just look briefly at how to do these. Okay, so basically you're going to take his income, which was $82,250. Sorry, this is pretty sloppy, but oh well. Right, so it's $82,250. And I'm going to use, so the tax rate, he's single, so that's important. The tax rate is 10% up to $82.95. So I say 0.1 times $82.95. So 10% of his tax, or $8,295 of his income is going to be taxed at 1%. Then I'm going to add to that the next block, which is 15%. So that's going to be 15% times, and then this I'm going to take this number, 36,250, minus 89.25. Okay, and then I'm also going to add, I'm going to have to erase something on here. Then I'm going to take, so then it goes up to 87,850. We're not above that, so I don't have to go into the 28%. But I'm going to take his income, not 87,850, but his income, which is going to be, it's going to be 0.25 times 82,250 minus this number that I already did, 36,250. Okay. Okay, let me erase some of this so that we can. This is the world's worst eraser, FYI. It's just hard to get it all. Actually, not doing too bad this time. Seems like I always just leave a little bit behind. Okay. So got that fixed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this. So 0.1 times 82.95 plus, I'm going to use my calculator to figure out what this is. 36,250, right here, minus 89.25. Okay, so that is going to be 15% times 27,325, right? plus 25% times, and I'm going to do some math right here too, 82,250 minus 36,250. Okay, that's going to be 4,600 right here. 1,000, 46,000. Okay, so that is, oh no, I thought I could maybe make it a little bigger. So that's that. And then I'm just going to do that math. And then let me just double check. Hold on, I just lost George. George, come back. All right, here's George. So that will be his federal income tax. I'm going to round to the nearest dollar. Okay. If you have not a great calculator, then you may want to do each of these and write it down. So like I would go 0.1 times 82.95, and that is 829.5. Okay, if you don't have a great calculator, because some calculators don't handle they don't do order of operations very well. So just make sure that yours does. One thing I like to do is check my answer twice. Like when I have a lot of calculations to do, I usually do the calculations twice and make sure I get the same thing both times. Okay, so that's how you do George, right? That's number 6, I believe. Now let's look at number 7, which I think is this one, and let's look at the difference between the two. Okay, number 7 says John and Heather are married, filing jointly, and had a taxable income of $98,500 and a tax credit of $500. Okay, so again, we're going to look and see what their income, or what we're going to look at this tax flow chart. Once again, this tax flow chart is on page 254. Okay, so they told us that they're married, filing jointly, and had a taxable income of $98,500. So again, we're dealing with taxable income. So that means I don't have to do deductions. I don't have to do adjustments to income, like when they deposit money into a tax-free savings account. I just am dealing with right here. So I go straight to my computation. All right. Now, notice they have a tax credit, but notice also that the tax credit comes after you calculate your tax. So this one, we're going to come here and we're going to look at theirs. Again, I'm going to write it out for you. So their taxable income is $98,500, right? So I'm going to do my first tax rate, and this one's going to be a little different because, so it's 0.1, so 10% times, and this, since they're married filing jointly, we have this number right here, times 17,850 plus 0.15 times, and this is going to be the 72. I'm going to do this on my calculator so I don't have to write it out again. I'm going to subtract those two numbers, 72,500 minus 17,850. Okay, that's going to give me 54,650. Oops. Plus 25%. I'm going to take their income this time. Let's make sure they're in that range. Yep, this range goes clear up to 146. So I'm going to take that 98.5 minus this 72.5, and I get 2,600. I did that again, 26,000. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to do all those calculations and I'm going to come up with my answer, which, let me see if I can find it because I just want to show you. I wrote this down in several places on my little notebook. I never wrote it down. Okay, so let's say their total tax is, this is going to be wrong because I don't want to calculate it. You guys can use your calculator. But let's say their total tax was like, say, 16,000. Okay, I come up with their total tax of 16,000 after I do this, which again is not going to be right, but they have a tax credit. So now, if we look at our flow chart, I'm going to minus the tax credit. So their tax, if their tax was 16,000, then I would minus 500 and they would be paying $15,500 in taxes. Okay, so that's how that one goes. That's going to be their total tax. All right, now let's look really quickly. This video is taking a long time. I hope this is helpful. Let's look really quickly at the last one, which is kind of complicated. Again, I'm not going to work out the entire thing for you, but we'll, I'm not going to write out the flow chart. I mean the tax table. I'm not going to write that out this time, but we'll do this. Assume that Brooke is a computer programmer earning $79,800 in wages and $1,130 in savings interest. Okay, so she has wages are $79,800. Whoops. Interest is $1,130, and she had a retirement account that she spent $2,000 on. Okay, so it says she has standard deduction personal exemption as a single taxpayer. All right, this one wants to know what the FICA is, what her federal income tax is, what her total taxes are, and her overall tax rate. So let's look at our flow chart. Now the flow chart does not have FICA on it. So I'm just going to tell you, because typically you don't pay FICA, like you do pay FICA, but you never see it. If you work for someone, your FICA gets included. If you, I mean, they take it out for you. If you're self-employed, then it's not taken out for you, but it is, it'll just be calculated by whatever tax program you're using. But if you wanted to calculate in advance, you could. So, FICA, this is super important. FICA is only on wages. So when you're calculating FICA, we're not going to add the interest in. We're not going to subtract the IRA. We're only calculating the FICA on wages. FICA is, there's a little example of how to do it on page 260. That's super easy. And anyway, FICA is 7.65%, so 0.07, that's going to be multiplied by 0.0765. So I'm just going to do that, and that's going to give me my FICA. Okay, so I'm going to just write down these numbers and pretend I did all the calculations for you, because so FICA was 6434. Okay, I got to remember this, because in the end I'm going to have to add it on to the taxes I've paid. All right, so that's my FICA is 6434. Then the next thing I need to find is my federal income tax. Okay, I'm going to use that cool tax thing, but first I've got to figure out what I've got. I've got to come up with my taxable income. All right, so I start with my gross income. My gross income is my wages plus my interest. Okay, so gross income is going to be wages, $79,800, plus my interest, what was that, $1,130. So my total wages are going to be my total, my gross income is going to be $85,635. That's how much money I earned this year. Then I'm going to make an adjustment to my income. My adjustment is this IRA. So this is income. This is part of my gross, but they're not going to count it as part of my gross when they calculate my taxes. All right, so I'm going to subtract that, and I'm going to get my $83,635, and this is my adjusted gross income. Okay, so it's my wages plus the interest I earned, and then minus my IRA gives me my adjusted gross income. Now that I have that, I come over here to my deductions and exemptions. Deductions and exemptions are found on this table right here. That's on the next page. I can't remember what it is. But so she's single. We're going to subtract 6,100, subtract 3,900. That's actually 10,000 total. And so her so we'll have her adjusted gross income minus 10,000. So that's going to give me 73,635 for her taxable income. Wait, something looks wrong on my paper. Oh, it's because, well, I don't know. I think I have a different. Yeah, I was running off different numbers. Sorry, this is not correct. I was looking at my notes that I took, but I realized that this actually changed. These numbers changed. So this is not accurate math right here, just so you know. Let me just erase that for you. That'll make everyone feel better, right? When you're like, how did she get more adjusted gross income? Let me try that again. Sorry, I'm not starting this whole video again. It's kind of long. All right, so let's go back to this. If I was doing this for reals, now I know I can't use my cheat paper. So I subtract that and I get 0, 7, 6, 8, 78, 670, right? That's my AGI. No. Oh my word. I'm doing this all wrong. So I'm supposed to add that. I don't know where I was. So that is my, let me try that one more time. Okay, so this is me adding my base wage plus my interest. So 0, 3, 9, 10, so 89.30. Okay, that's my adjusted, no, that's my total income, my gross income. Then I'm going to adjust that by subtracting my 2,000. And I'm going to get 78,930. Okay, this is my AGI. So sorry about that confusion there. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take my AGI and I'm going to use it. I'm going to do my deductions and exemptions, which we already talked about. That was a total of 10,000. So my 68,930 is going to be my taxable income. Okay, so taxable income is your adjusted gross minus your deductions and exemptions. There's my taxable income. Then I'm going to use these numbers to do the calculations like we did on the other two. And then in this case, so that'll be my federal income tax. Then to find my total tax, I'm going to add whatever my income tax was plus my FICA. So let's say my total taxes I was paying on this were like, I don't know. Let me give you a number. Let's say I was paying 14,000 on this. It's maybe super high, I don't know. So I'm going to add that to the 6434. And that would be my total taxes. Okay? Again, this is not calculated correctly. I just made this number up. So that'd be my total taxes. Then I'm going to get my overall tax rate. That's the fourth answer. And my overall tax rate is going to be my total taxes. So my FICA plus my my taxes that I got from the tax table. And that is going to be divided by my gross income. Remember, my gross income happens, whoops, gross. Looks like grogs. My total income is before my adjusted gross income. So don't get confused that don't use your AGI when you calculate your percent of income. You're going to do your gross income, which is in this case was the wages plus the interest. So it's going to be your taxes that you're paying divided by your gross income. Okay, so hopefully that was not too confusing at the end. If it is, just send me an email and I'll try to explain it better. I might have to redo this. But all right, thanks.